Ladies and gentlemen, Dorian has literally destroyed all of the Bahamas. I mean, there is literally nothing left when it comes down to Abaco Island in the Bahamas. I mean, everything is wiped out. Just doing a preliminary assessment. This is Marsh Harbor, Bahamas. There are no schools, no banks, no gas stations, no supermarkets, no restaurants, no churches, no pharmacies, no hardware store, no water, no electricity, no phone lines. Everything is gone. Everything's gone. In this part of the Bahamas, nearly everything is gone. Hurricane Dorian didn't just upend life in Marsh Harbor, the biggest town in the Abaco Islands. Dorian crushed it, stripping all essentials, schedules, and routines, everything residents and visitors had taken for granted. And there's no sense when those things might be restored. So there's this, come on, it's going to take well over a decade or even longer if you really wanted to put this island back together. And you better pray no more hurricanes come through, because anything that you rebuild, you will be set back. Plain and simple. 5 days after the storm struck the northern end of the Bahamas, the death toll remains unknown, but fears abound that it will be far higher than the 43 confirmed as of Friday. Many people were still missing. By some estimates, Dorian did at least $7 billion in damage. Tens of thousands of traumatized survivors with nothing. So they are literally left with nothing but a pile of rubble and what they used to call their homes, encircling them and no way to communicate. Do not even know where to begin in the Abacos. They simply had to start by leaving. That's what I'm saying. Many of these people, they cannot wait around for this place to be rebuilt. They have immediate needs right now. They just do. Many of them don't have nothing but the clothes on their backs. That's all. They have nothing more than that. And they have a tough road ahead. And wow, you think about this. You have to think about the children they have. They literally have nothing at this point but their lives. So, staying on the island, they are going to all have to consider what they want to do. You know, um, I remember when Puerto Rico was hit with Maria, many of them left the islands and came to mainland America because they just simply couldn't stay there anymore. The storm's blast across the Abacos on Sunday damaged the vast majority of structures, erased entire communities, and effectively rendered many residents homeless. Hundreds of people swarmed Marsh Harbor, wharfed at the port on Friday after having heard rumors of ferry boats would arrive to evacuate people. Many others thronged the airport terminals, hoping to land a seat on private flights, which began arriving on Thursday after floodwaters had receded from the tarmac. As of Friday, commercial service in Marsh Harbor had not resumed, residents said. So they are trying their best to just get off of the island. I mean, what do they do? And I was listening to some of the interviews. Those folks are literally sleeping on that saturated ground. The ground is still drenched with water, but they have nothing else. They are literally sleeping on the ground, in areas that are not flooded. And that's really hard with all of that debris everywhere. Yeah, that's not a good situation for them. They really have to get out of there. Um, Regin, Ronaldo Boleg, 37, who worked as a charter boat captain before the storm, passed by Marsh Harbor Wharf after hearing about a possible humanitarian ferry to Nassau, capital of the Bahamas. He had his two pit bulls and was hoping to secure space for the three of them. I was going to stay and volunteer, but it doesn't make sense, he said. I just feel it's best to be closer to extraction points right now. People are becoming more desperate now. Yeah, I bet they are. Wow. Boleg was carrying an unlit cigar, a gift from a police officer he had encountered in the streets a couple of days after the storm. And he's saying he's not even a smoker. Wow. I can't get over looking at many of these pictures from the Bahamas. It reminds you of, the Bible scripture where it tells you how things would be gone in the twinkling of an eye. And this is exactly what happened on this island. I mean, literally everything is gone. If I get on a boat, I'm going to light this, he said. I'm going to enjoy it on my ride back to Nassau. The larger and more populated Grand Bahama Island also took a direct hit from Dorian, leaving some areas destroyed and survivors stupefied. Surrounded by wreckage, many worried how they could meet their most basic needs. Yeah, I bet they do. I mean, you can you imagine every day you got up and you had a routine, getting in the shower or taking a bath or, and just getting dressed and going to work and just having your whole routine down. And now you can't do none of those things. You can't even do the basic things that you did every day. Wow. In Lady Lake, a ravaged neighborhood near Freeport, Grand Bahama's largest city, the yard of Nicole Sweden, Bain, gutted one-story home was littered with the shredded remnants of what had been inside. A large Bahamian flag was the only recognizable object. Whether to salvage and rebuild was the last thing on her mind. I don't even care about the house, she said, scrambling through the rubble in an attempt to find anything still intact. My kids don't have underwear. Wow. Like I said, basic things. Now you don't even have access to those things. Her brother, Sean, 51, who shared the house, said there was no option but to relocate. Home is home, he said. But in this particular area, I don't think so. And you're looking at a before and after shot. Wow, what a difference. Mm. other Dorian victims in Grand Bahama said they would rebuild. You know, that's really easier said than done. You know, these folks are going to have a hard struggle. You really can't be there, and there's no kind of food supply for these folks, and they don't even have basic things. So it's not like they can pick up a phone and communicate with each other at this point. They just simply can't. You know, I don't know how safe it would be to stay there. In fact, I don't think it would be safe at all for them to stay there. Um, and, you know, I saw some earlier stories about looting. I don't even care about that. I don't care about looting. People are going to do whatever they have to do to survive. All that care about property more than people stuff, that's this is what these people in the Western Hemisphere care about. You know, they always put property ahead of people. They have no concern about the immediate needs of the people. So I'm not doing any looting stories. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't blame these people for trying to look for a way out. And these are all folks down um, in Marsh Harbor, and they are looking for a boat in order to get out. I mean, it's not like they have a lot of choice right now because they really don't. Everything is destroyed. But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.